Good evening, good evening, good evening. From the Channel 9 studio, this is Sports Chat with Mr. 33. I am he, Mr. 33. And what a night from SmackDown as they came on from, they was in Berlin, I believe, Berlin, Germany. Uh, it was pre-recorded, but if you caught tonight's show, we can go ahead and get into that. Me personally, I was just watching the Indiana Hoosiers annihilating the Oregon Ducks. What was it, 56-22 or 50? It wasn't close. It was not close at all. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. So we're gonna start. Try me. How you doing? How you feeling? Welcome in. Right. So we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into recapping SmackDown tonight. The show started off with Randy Orton coming down to the ring. Uh, Randy Orton was about to start having a conversation, welcoming himself back. Is Zeno, how you feeling? And we heard that song "Whoop That Trick," so we know Trick Williams coming out have a conversation, and Trick told, "Let's talk about it." This is me introducing myself. I'm paraphrasing, of course. I'm introducing myself. I want to fight everybody. I'm putting you on notice. Uh, appreciate you. Yeah, we on WWE right now, but we going to many other segments. We gonna talk about some basketball, some football a little bit later. Uh, So as Trick is telling them like, yo, I'm fighting everybody. Uh, he tells Randy like, yo, you a OG. You one of the most outstanding wrestlers that was ever here. But this is 2026, say 2006. And Randy Orton like, yo, listen, man, I don't know what they told you down yonder, but don't turn your back on the Viper, man. Don't turn your back on me. And he ended up turning his back on him again. Randy caught him with a couple uppercuts. Uh, did the DDT off the rope. He was setting up for the. He was setting up before the RKO. The Miz came in, jumped in, tried to hit him with a skull crusher finale after he stomped him out a couple times. Or he stomped him a couple times. Randy got up, caught him with the RKO, slid up out of the ring, cleared the ring out, and walked to his back. Keon Diaz, what's going on? Froggy Man, what's going on? Um, so as he's walking out the ring, Ray Phoenix comes out. Now Ray Phoenix is coming out to fight Trick Williams, which will be Trick Williams' first match in the WWE on SmackDown. So he coming down to the ring. He looks at Randy Orton like, "I go get him." Uh, so the match goes Ray Phoenix versus Trick Williams. Uh, Trick Williams. I don't know why they gave him a nickname Tricky Willie. I'm calling him Trick Williams, but I ain't doing all that. Trick Williams started off the match by showing his power. He's 6'5", 250. He was talking about that a little bit earlier. And Ray Phoenix, he kept getting caught by the powerhouse, right? Then Ray Phoenix got some nice moves, started using his agility, getting out the ring, jumping off the top rope, try to set things up. uh, but anytime that matter of fact, when he jumped off the top rope, this is how the match ended. He jumped off the top rope. Uh, Trick caught him, was getting ready to suplex him. Ray Phoenix reversed it, rolled into a pin. Then Trick rolled them over, got the 2 count, grabbed the tights, got the 3 count. That's how Trick Williams. Um, so Trick Williams gets his first victory in WWE with a defeat of Ray Phoenix. Uh, it was a good match. It was speed. It was more strength versus agility. The strength won this time, It doesn't mean that, Ray Phoenix didn't get his opportunities. He had his opportunities, but he just kept getting caught off the ropes and things like that. So Trick Williams took advantage of his strength, got the victory. So that's how Trick is starting his way up the ladder in WWE with a nice little victory over a very fair opponent in Ray Phoenix. Uh, Julia Julia's getting ready for her match for Miss Bliss. Now in the back, Miss Bliss get caught up with Nia and Lash, and they was taunting her because Charlotte Flair wasn't in the building. So as she heads out to the ring, Julia is out there with Kiana James, and they start the match. Uh, they started the fight. They started the match by fighting each other like hand to hand. Then Miss Bliss, she started to gain momentum until Julia got into the way. She kept getting the referee distracted. Julia was taking over. Uh, and then as Julia gained advantage, uh, as Miss Bliss was hitting her with the Sister App, get ready to hit her with the Sister Abigail. We see Last Legend interfere, uh, pushing Miss Bliss off the top rope after she missed Sister Abigail. Julia hits the Northern Lights, uh, and then she gets the 3 count. So uh, as Julia gets the victory, Lash and Nia, they go in the ring and just finish off Miss Bliss as they caught her by herself, as they already know. Lash hit her with the forearm. Nia hit her with the Annihilator. Left her out there looking all crazy. So, once again, Julia defends her title, which would be her first title defense after regaining it a week before. Um, so that was a good win. We go on to the MFTs versus the Wyatt Six. Solo, Tyler Tonga, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa. Those are the four. They went up against Uncle Howdy, Joe Gacy, Eric Rowan, and Dexter Loomis. Uh, as the match started, Tonga Loa and Loomis started, they fighting and doing the strike for blows. Uh, then the Wyatts get to control. Gacy and Loomis tagging in and out. Then MFC took control. Uh, and then we see Solo getting in the ring, taking over, hitting Gacy, with the hip attack. They go back and forth. Then we see the physical strength of the teams. Uh, Talatonga and Eric Rowan kicking each other out the way. Solo striking Eric Rowan. Then he's fighting Uncle Howdy. Uh, as he's hitting Uncle Howdy, Tamatonga hits his finisher, uh, rolls off, gets the pin. So the MFT defeated the Wyatt Six. It was a 4-man tag. It wasn't for the belts or anything like that. But it just to show that I guess they wanted to show the Wyatt Six that they have their number. So it was an impressive win for them to keep themselves relevant. In the background, Jordan Grace is being after that match, Jordan Grace is being officially welcomed to SmackDown. Uh, Chelsea Green is mad because she can't get her rematch. Uh, Jordan Grace says something to her. Alba Fry defends Chelsea, and then the match is made between Jordan Grace and Alba Fry. So Alba Fry and Jordan Grace goes down to the ring. They start their match. Uh, Jordan Grace immediately started uh, with her offensive moves. Uh, got some clotheslines. She got a sidewalk slam. Then Alba Fry hit her with a DDT. Got up for the 2 count from that. Uh, Then Jordan Grace, you know, she just really took the power into her own hands. Uh, she hits she hits Albert Fry with her own move. Realist, what's going on with you? And so Jordan Grace gets the pin over Albert Fry, and as Jordan Grace is heading back to the locker room, the champ comes out, who is Jade Cargill. She said, "You really think you see?" She told her. She walked up behind her. She walked up on her like, "You really think you did something?" Uh, you think you did something, but this is my show and I'm that bitch. And just she dropped the bike. She walked off. So it's like, they're trying to build that up. Hey, Lisa, good evening. How you feeling? So they're trying to build that up early as Jordan Grace will be the new person to try to stop Jay Cargill uh, from reigning in WWE on WWE SmackDown. Uh, they did an over Femi highlight and stuff like that. And then Carmelo Hayes running the Dragunov, he's like, "Yo, we got to fight again." And Dragunov like, "I'm about to do something else. I got you." But Carmelo Hayes ends up having an open challenge fight, and he fights Shinsei Nakamura. Uh, this match was pretty good. Melo started off with a little quick offense, and then y'all know Shinsuke with the kicks and the strikes and all of that ended up getting in control. Got a couple of 2 counts, and then you know as Shinsuke was working on the legs, Carmelo got the effort. He found his way back. He hit him with the first 48 as soon as he got his little momentum back out of nowhere, and then he hit the diving leg drop for the win. Got the 3 count. So Carmelo Hayes defends his belt well, successfully, in defeating Shinsuke Nakamura. Uh, then we get to the final match. The final match was Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. It was a three-way, not a three-way match, how you call it, three-way to hell match. So the first match was about getting a pinfall in the ring. Uh, so uh, they fighting, and Drew finds a way to get thrown to the corner. Well, Cody throws Drew to the corner, and Drew rips the mask, the turnbuckle off. As he rips the turnbuckle off, the referee sees it, tries to pick up the turnbuckle, and try to put it back in the corner. He low blows Cody, hits him with a claymore, gets a 3 count. That was the first pinfall. So Drew is up 1-0 in the pinfall, right? In a regular WWE match. Then the next was pins count anywhere. So they was all over the place. They fight. They in and out the crowd. They in and out the stadium. They doing all of these things. Cody ends up pinning Drew. Well, he hits him with a Cody cutter over through a table. Excuse me. And then he gets a 3 count. So it's now 1-1. The final stage of the match was in a steel cage. So they both get in the ring. The cage gets dropped down uh, as after they get in, and then for like 15 minutes it was an all out match. Cody had his share. Drew came back and took advantage. Then Cody came back and took advantage. Then Drew had one final gasp to take advantage. He did. Hit him with a claymore and things like that. And as Drew McIntyre is going to open the door in the steel cage, there's somebody in a hoodie waiting for him. So he looks at the dude in the hoodie. The dude in the hoodie takes the hood off. It's Jacob Fatu. So Jacob Fatu is back. So Jacob gets in the ring. He starts to pound. He starts to pound him out. Uh, then as he's pounding him out by the door, Cody ends up putting his hands on Jacob. Jacob and Cody start fighting. Drew gets out the ring. He gets out the door, put his feet on the floor, and now we have a new world champion, y'all. My 33 brother, what up, though? So now Drew McIntyre is the world champion, and I don't know if he did it, but look, the way the match ended was crazy, right? Because it looked like he was running from Jacob because Jacob pounded him out. But that's how you win the match. You win the match by going out the door, landing on the floor. So he really did what he's supposed to do, but was it out of fear of Jacob or what? But anyway, congratulations to uh, Drew McIntyre. He becomes a champ. Jacob was like, damn, I really let this motherfucker win. And then Cody ends up throwing him to the cage, like, damn, you really let this motherfucker win. So this was a week of the belts changing hands all over the place on Raw. We see that Io and Rhea are the tag champs. Becky Lynch regains the Intercontinental belt. Uh the Usos, they didn't change belts, but they had a they had open challenge. They told everybody we here, we fighting whoever. Uh, CM Punk retains his belt on Raw. Uh, so yeah, it was really about titles changing hands over there throughout the whole week on the whole both shows. So you can't really. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? He tried to make it seem like he was so gung ho mad at Jacob. Jacob, like, who cares? You got to pay attention. So it's gonna be interesting to see how what happens. Matter of fact, they got a four-way match or something like that. I think I just saw now that they said Cody ain't getting he ain't getting a chance. He ain't getting his rematch back yet, and it's gonna be on SmackDown next week. I forgot who. It's just crazy. So I think this is Cody's way of getting the break. It's going to be Randy Orton versus The Miz. Matt Cardona is going to fight Trick Williams. Damian Priest versus Solo. Sami Zayn versus Ilya Dragunov. That's going to be the four. You know what I mean? So those are the four. Those are the four matches that's going to happen next week on SmackDown for the Fatal Four. I mean, it's going to be leading to a Fatal Four Way at a main event for the title shot. Uh, so those four matches we already know is going to be next week, right? Um, but the way Cody, yeah, because Cody didn't make any sense to me. Cody, he acted like he was so mad that he was ill focused, and then he forgot somebody had they get back to get on him. Now, does this mean that Jacob is the bad guy? I don't think so. I just think that I think Jacob wanted his get back, and y'all know Jacob is hot. So Cody turned around and grabbed him. He swung back on him. That's what most men would do. Maybe some women, but most men would do that. Like, don't put your hands on me. I'm punishing a dude. So why would you put your hands on me? And that's what happened. So I don't. This doesn't for me. This doesn't make Cody. I mean, Jacob a heel or the villain or nothing. I just think he wanted to get back because he wants, hey, I was out for a while and you did this to me type thing. It does. I don't think it means that Cody did it. I just think he mad at Cody because he put his hands on him. And that's what I think it is. But Drew is now Drew is now champion. I don't, and they get ready to have matches that for a main event, and then they're gonna have one at a title match, I guess, at the Royal Rumble. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that goes. Uh, but all in all, it was a pretty good SmackDown tonight. Uh, we got to see Trick. We got to see how much he possesses in power as far as the way he handled Ray Phoenix. He did what he was supposed to do. Carmelo Hayes defended his belt in a timely fashion. Even though he had to pull a rabbit out the hat because Shinsuke Nakamura had him in a way, so to speak, because it was pretty much Shinsuke Nakamura for most of the match until the end. After he hit the first 48, he got up and got that momentum and hit the first 48, and then the leg drop. You can't miss. And then you know Julia defended her belt very easily. Uh, it was really, I don't know. I don't know how to describe Miss Bliss. I can't really describe her. Like, sometimes she's on, sometimes she off. I guess she was supposed to have been distracted because Charlotte wasn't there. And then, and plus she had those big girls on her. She had Nia and Lash on her. So it was very easy to see if she was going to be distracted because she knew they was around, and that's exactly what happened. Julia defeated her, and they came around and pounced her. So that's kind of a normal reaction towards a thing. Um, and then did I miss a match? I don't think I missed a match, did I? Uh, I don't think I missed a match. And like I said, Trick was out there talking smack, and Randy said, "Yo, just be careful, because I'm not one of those dudes. I'll put you out." And so, it was just, kind of funny. Uh, oh, and the Jordan Grace match, the Jordan Grace and Albert Fry. And like I said, Jordan, that little muscular thing, she came in and she made quick work of Albert Fry, but I don't think she has it to deal with Jade. I think Jade is right now, her confidence has put her on another level. So I don't, if that's what they get ready to do, like I said, they putting some pretty, they trying to put some pretty good young ladies on Jade. I guess they don't, like I said, they ain't gonna put Lash on her yet. They ain't gonna put Nia on her because now she's the heel. So she's like, I bet. She already took out Meechin and BFAB. Uh, Selena Vega, she dipped off to be with her husband. So they have to put somebody with her. But it's gonna be a very interesting match whenever they get their hands on one another. Jordan Grace versus Jade. It's gonna be interesting. Can Jade uh, keep to keep can Jordan keep Jade under pressure, and can Jade truly dominate somebody who has just as much strength as her, right? But I think Jade has a little bit more agility than Jordan Grace. So that's going to be a pretty good match to look at going forward. Uh, it's something totally different. Uh, and then when you look at Raw, what does this loss what does this loss do to Braun Breaker? Braun Breaker lost his title shot against CM Punk. The Vision came out to help him. All three of them. And then the Luchadors came out to help Punk. And then they ended up taking Bronson Reed out. I don't know where the hell Theory and Logan Paul was, but that's a total setback for Braun Breaker. But now that he goes down, oh, are we looking at a Gunther CM Punk match? I don't know, right? Uh, I really have no idea, but that's what it's looking like. Devon Evans is getting ready to start his raw abilities over there. I think this week coming up. Um, like I said, the Usos told anybody I want to fight, we here for it. I think the Dragon Lee AJ style situation is over with. Matter of fact, AJ is supposed to be heading to TNA. He has a match on TNA next Thursday, and that's as they start a new channel TNA. I think they're on AMC. Yeah, they're on AMC, the cable channel. So they would try to start that over there. So AJ is gonna have a single run, which it frees up AJ Lee. I mean AJ Lee. Dragon Lee. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that goes. But I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch the TNA on the 15th because they're gonna probably bring a couple of guys over there from at TNA to participate in the Rumble. I'll see. I'll guess which ones from TNA, but I have to see them. I haven't really been into TNA like that. We already hear the noise that the Hardys want to fight the Usos coming over and things like that. But that's that. I don't think that has anything to do with the Rumble. So we'll see how that goes. But you know, the landscape is getting ready for the Royal Rumble as we head down the road to WrestleMania. And WrestleMania, I can't believe WrestleMania is almost 3 months away. Well, it is 3 months away, but it's right there, and that's crazy. We just started the year, and we already looking at Mania. It just felt like we was just talking about last year's Mania and SummerSlam and things like that, and now we over here talking about WrestleMania in April, which will be back in Vegas again. But SmackDown will be in London next week. And that'll be a pre-recorded show as a live show starts at 3 o'clock. Uh, it's just I don't know, man. They moving things internationally already. Um, the dynamics of the WWE. I mean, it's kind of early to start moving them around like that because this is the new year. But but the crowd. Shout out to the crowd. The crowd in attendance in Germany. They was very energetic. They was counting for they was counting. They was cheering. They was cheering for the Ray Phoenix when he was fighting Trick Williams. I was like, yo, this is kind of cool. They don't know Trick Williams, so I guess they just cheer for Dragon Lee because he been all around the world. So it was something different, but the fact that they starting out early in the new year across the pond, so to speak, is it, so a lot of these things may be leaked early and often, but like I said, I saw it, but I just wanted to wait to give you guys the chance to see it, and then we can have the discussion and conversate or whatever. So so it's gonna be like this again on Friday. They'll be in London. Uh, I'm not sure if Raw is gonna be in Europe. I'm not sure. I didn't really look at it, but it's not hard to find out. But it's just the dynamics of them being across in Europe already. And like I said, that's what gives us the early shows, and we get to peek and see things like that. Um, what's the date? World January 12th. Let me see where they're at. Where's the Raw 2026 location? Oh, they'll be in Germany too, so they might have an early. They might have an early. Yeah, it's 2 o'clock. So Raw is going to be early too this week. So once again, like I said, do the I'll do the regular time thing, as you guys watch it and things like that at the regular time. And they say you if you got a VPN, you can get Netflix. You can watch it early, but I'm not doing all of that. So I'll do the same show and have the same conversation at the same time with that. Plus, we'll have some other things to talk about on Monday as well. Speaking of that, uh, I'll go straight to my NBA scores. Let me go to the NBA scores. Uh, I saw the Knicks lose already. I don't even want to do it. Now I'm just stop. My Knickerbockers lost, but we're gonna go to some scores already. Like I said, we'll start in Washington. The Pelicans 128. The Wizards 107. The Pelicans with the win go to 9-31. The Wizards loss goes to 10-27. In Orlando, the 76ers 103. The Magic 91. Philly with the win goes to 21-15. Orlando with the loss go to 21-18. Uh, in Brooklyn, the Clippers 121. The Nets 105. Hey, we got a Nets score. We got a Nets record. The Clippers with the win go to 14-23. Brooklyn with the loss go to 11-24. In Boston, the Raptors came to town and Boston wins the game 125-117. With the win, the Celtics go to 24-13. With the loss, the Raptors go to 23-16. In Phoenix, the Suns defeat the Knicks 112-107. The Knicks with the loss go to 24-14. The Suns with the win go to 23-15. In Memphis, the Thunder came to play the Grizzlies. The Thunder get a 117-116 win. The Thunder with the win go to 32-7. Grizzlies with the loss go to 16-22. These games are still act. Well, this game is still active. I'll get to that in a minute. In Denver, the Hawks defeat the Nuggets 110-87. The Hawks with the win go to 19-21. The Nuggets go to 25-13. Okay, so now we got the Lakers hosting the Bucks. The Bucks are up 71-63 in the third quarter, about 5.5 to go. In the third, I think that game is on. I think I could watch that game. I am going to watch that game while we talk. Uh, in Portland, the Rockets 94, the Blazers 88 with 6.5 to go in the fourth. And in Golden State, and let's say San Francisco, the Golden State Warriors 120, the Kings 94. So those are the scores, the final scores, and the scores that are still on display, that's still playing. So now we're gonna go to where we're supposed to go. Now, as we head to tomorrow, we got several games going on tomorrow as the NFL starts its playoff season. Uh, and so tomorrow's games is going to be the Los Angeles Rams going to Charlotte to play the Carolina Panthers, and the Green Bay Packers heading to Chicago to play the Bears. That's the 4-5 matchup and the 2-7 matchup. Now it's very easy for me to say uh, the Rams are going to defeat the Panthers, but the Cardinals are the Panthers defeated the Rams earlier in the year, like maybe about 2 months ago. They defeated the Rams, and they was at home. but I just think that this is more of a must win for the Rams. So I think the Rams are going to win this game. I don't know what the score is going to be. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Will it be close? Have, maybe they'll win by. Maybe the Rams will win by 10. Maybe I don't know. I want to say 27-17, something like that. I don't know, but I got the Rams winning. Now the question is, will the Bears be able to hold off the Packers? Green Bay is coming in at 9-7-1. But this is their third time playing. This is a division game all over again. And I don't I'm gonna go with the Bears. I'm gonna go with the Bears. I'm gonna go with the Bears, maybe with who knows, with a 4 point win. Point 4 point win. Maybe like 20 20 or 31-27, something like that. Maybe 4 points, right? But the game of that intrigues me the most in the NFC is going to be the next day, right? I might as well give y'all the Sunday schedule as well. So we know that the NFC is going to play two of their games on Saturday. We know that the Bills will start off Sunday's game in Jacksonville to play the Jaguars. Uh, then they'll head. Then we'll see the San Francisco 49ers play the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Sunday night game is going to be the Patriots and the Chargers. But the intriguing game for me is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Because it's very well possible that if the 49ers win, it'll be an NFC showdown all the way up to the NFC Championship. Because we know that atmosphere. What up, Chef? Yeah, we all your Cowboys, my Jets. They got a whole lot of bye weeks, but we know that the 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 Seattle Seahawks plays the lowest seed to come out to the second round. If so that means they could play the Eagle. No, they can't play the Eagles. That means they could play the Chargers. I mean, they could play the Panthers, they could play the Rams, and they could play the 49ers or the Packers, right? Because if the Bears win and the Eagles win, that'll be a 2-3 seed. They will face each other the next round. Um, but if the 49ers win, that will be very intriguing because if I believe they win and then they'll play the Bear. Well, if they win, they'll play the Seahawks and then the Rams and the Bears. If my predictions are correct, the Rams will play the Bears and the 49ers will play the Seahawks. And then I would pick the Rams over the Bears. And then I don't know who I would pick as the fourth. I'm gonna go with Seattle. So it would be Seattle and the Rams for the NFC Championship game, and that's a pick 'em. That really is a pick 'em because I know that the Rams won the first game and then they lost that second game. That'll be a third game from them. But I would probably pick the Rams to uh, represent the NFC. Now in the AFC, ah, this is tough. Something telling me I want to pick the Bills over the Jaguars. To be honest with y'all, but I think New England's going to win. I I think the Texans are going to win. And if my prediction is correct, that would be it would be the Patriots and the Texans in the second round, and it would be Buffalo and Denver in the second round. Now I think you could run the ball on Denver, but I don't know if Bo Nix is ready per se. So wow, it could very well be the Patriots and Bills in the NFC. I mean the AFC Championship game. And in that game, oh wow, I would pick the Patriots. So I would have the Patriots versus the Seahawks, and then the Patriots. But I do like the Seahawks. I like the Seahawks. I do. I really do like the Seahawks. I like their offense. I like their defensive line. I like, but I just think I think they want to make something out of Drake May. So I would have New England winning the championship if that was my final picks. But that's what I'm just going with right now because y'all know anything can happen. So I would have so this week I'm just gonna pick the winners of this week. I'm going with the Rams. I'm going with the Bears. Uh, and I'm going with the Bills. I'm going with the Patriots, and I'm going with the Texans in the AFC. This 49er Eagle game, I swear, I really want. I'm gonna go with the 49ers. So I'm gonna go with the 49ers, the Bears, and the Rams. And for the NFC, I got both five seeds winning their games. I got both five seeds winning their game. I got both six seeds winning their game for whatever reason. And I got both two seeds winning their game. So that's what I have for this weekend. Uh, I may be wrong. I don't know, but that's what I'm going with. Uh, it's just so wide open. Like the rankings ain't gonna mean anything. The stats ain't gonna mean anything. So it's just gonna be a different thing. It's gonna be a whole new dynamic. Uh, it's really difficult to decide. It's really difficult to call. But these games are gonna that Eagle game is gonna be close. I don't think the I don't think the Eagles is gonna kick a field goal, block a field goal, and run away with the win. Um, oh, my 33 brothers going live in about a half an hour. That's what's up. We'll be over there. Um, yeah, I just thought, what Eagle team are we going to see coming out? What is this going to be the Eagles team that we've seen all year? That's iffy. Now, mind you, yes, half hour before, so it'll be on about 12:45. Um, the 49ers are pretty banged up, right? Their defense. I don't think Fred Warner's coming back, and his backup is injured. He pulled a groin in the last game, so it's gonna be different. Can they stop? I think this will be heavily. This will lie upon Saquon Barkley. If Saquon Barkley is you know doing anything, if he does half of the stuff that he did last year, then the Eagles will win. If not, it's going to be a close call. Now, will Brock Purdy do Brock Purdy things? I don't know. I think that the Eagles can neutralize Christian McCaffrey, but that's the question. Can the Niners contain Saquon Barkley? That's going to be the iffy. If they can, I give them a good shot. Right? That's just me being honest. Um, it's like I said, that for me, that's the most intriguing matchup, right? Don't get me wrong, the Bills and the Jags, I could see that going either way. Uh, they may have Trevor Lawrence look like somebody important, but will they contain James Cook on the Buffalo Bills? And if they don't contain James Cook, then Josh Allen can have a pretty big game as well. So that game is going to be intriguing as well. I don't have that much faith in I don't have that much faith in the Chargers coming all the way over and doing something in New England. I think the running back duo in New England can keep the Chargers off the field. That'd probably be a ball control game. That'd probably be like a 40 to 20 minute ball control time of possession game over there. Uh, I don't know. I don't know which Aaron Rodgers you're gonna get, and that defensive line of the Texans can make you speed up even more than what Aaron Rodgers is doing now. So, Commander, what's up, Nine? Hi. So I don't know if this Aaron Rodgers you got last week. Well, first of all, like I said, it that field goal kicker, their field goal miss is why the Steelers is in the playoffs, right? So the same way they got that Jim Harbaugh was fired, we could have been talking about Mike Tomlin in the same fashion. Not to say that he would have got fired or whatever. He could have resigned. He could like I'm tired or whatever. But it's that same conversation would have been had. So now that even with the coach, the firings, right? You got Raheem Morris, he was fired. We got Mike McDaniel's that was fired, and he had a decent he was 500, but that was they just got. I think he was just uh they didn't want him in Miami as the players, right? So that's a different scenario. The coach in Arizona got fired, and he had a rough spot because he had to deal. Is Kyler Murray going to play? Is he not going to play? They got some things to worry about down there. They got some good pieces as far as the offensive side of the ball. They got Trey McBride uh, and Marvin Harrison Jr. But what are they going to do with Kyler Murray, right? So that's something that you got to think about. Uh, who else? Look, Stefanski got let go. Whoever's coach, whoever's taking over that team, what are you going to do with Deshaun Watson? I'm not even going to talk about Shador Sanders right now. I'm asking, what are you going to do with Deshaun Watson? Deshaun Watson, he coming back from an Achilles. He missed the entire year. They said he was starting to practice around week 15. So the question is, what is he going to do? What are they going to do with that? That's $230 million guaranteed for the Cleveland Browns. So will they give him a second shot? Uh, what are they going to do with the backups? Are they going to let Shador be the backup, or are they going to let Dylan Gabriel be the two and then push him back to three? That coach gonna have a lot of work to do. As you know, he's coming in new. They kept the general manager, so it's gonna be there's a lot of questions going into that. Uh, the Giants, I don't think they're keeping their interim coach. They got a lot of good pieces on there. Who wants to deal with that? We do know that I think Stefanski and Harbaugh is going to get a lot of they're going to be the top names. If I was Harbaugh though, I swear to you, to be so mad at the damn Ravens, I would take the job in Cleveland and challenge them twice a week. I mean twice a year, right? They have the defense that'll keep you in. As long as Myles Garrett is on the field, you got a shot, right? He can do some things. Denzel Ward will be back. So their defense is up to par. What you going to do with the offense? Can you get somebody to come in and help your receiver core, right? You make a draft a wide receiver. Uh, and then, like I said, you got Harold Fanning who played pretty well down the stretch. You got Njoku still around. Derek Judy, he would be third for me. I mean, he's the top receiver they got, but he would be like third because as y'all saw, Shador was throwing to the backs and tight ends more than Jerry Judy. But if you can get that explosive receiver to go down the field, that'll open it up more. And like I said, that's just for Shador. We don't know what they're going to do with Deshaun Watson, so that's going to be intriguing. And if they get the right coach in there who's going to be able to groom them, it's very easy to say, uh, that Cleveland could make the playoffs next year. But that's we looking too early, right? We see things mad early. So, you know, it's gonna be something, different. Uh, but that's just some of the coaches that got, let go. And, like I said, Atlanta got some good pieces too. They got Bijan Robinson, they got Drake London, they got Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts came on later in the season after Drake London was injured. So, it's not the offense, it's what you do with these guys. And here's my thing, right? I was just thinking about this, right? People say, for Harbaugh coached 18 years, and, you know, the locker room, they said people feel like, he can't adapt to the young guys. And that's understandable, right? But all these it's what I said before a long time ago. Do these young guys, do they want to win? If they want to win, are we coaching young men or are we coaching boys? Right? That's just the reality of the thing, right? Because some of these guys get money, they feel like you can't tell them nothing. I'm making my own money. I call the shots. Like a lot of people saying that Lamar Jackson ran out. He got Harbaugh out of there. I don't think that's the case. I just think he was upset. Like, damn, every year something happens. Every year we miss a kick, somebody drops a pass, somebody fumbles my pass. So he has a right to be upset. But I don't think he got him fired. But at the same time, some of these guys don't want to be coached. When you get your bread, you like, yo, I don't want this, man. Y'all can't tell me nothing. But if you don't know how to do the ins and outs of the game, as far as the play calling of your team, how the hell you gonna do that if you don't know what you're doing? You gotta come together and work together as a you have to be coached. You have to learn how to make this. Listen, if you see this, I'm calling to you. I don't need you to run it out. I need you to run a slant or running back. I need you to pick this up over here. If we slide the protection over here, football is not like basketball. Football, you got so many X's. You got too many X's and O because there's so many different ways to be attacked, right? It ain't 5 on 5. It's 11 on 11. So everybody has to understand what's going on. But some of these guys, they just want their bread. They just think their talent is going to get them wins. Talent don't always get you victories. Talent with understanding can win you a championship. Just the talent can win you a few games. Not to say that you're going to be on a losing team, but you ain't going to be a Super Bowl caliber person because you just relying on your talent. You got to understand what it is too. Now, if your talent is with the agility and understanding of the game, that's something different. But a lot of these guys, I think they just know how to run certain routes. The wide receivers, I think I don't think some of the quarterbacks know how to read the floor like they're supposed to. Um, So it has to be difficult coaching these guys. Like even when you look at the I think the oldest coach that's in the playoffs this year is Sean Payton. And you see what he did. He got rid of Russell Wilson real quick. Even though Russell Wilson played well down the stretch, he said, I'm not rocking with this dude. This dude gotta go. He made the right decision for his team. His team is now in first place. I'm not saying that. I'm saying those young guys they brought in, right? Bo Nix brought in. The defense is defense. I don't think Sean Payton does the defense, right? So on the offensive side, Cortland Sutton brought in. A lot of those guys brought in. Now you remember when Judy was on there, they got his ass out of there. They sent him to Cleveland. You see what I mean? So some guys are not will not being able to be able to be taught. So that has to play a strong suit. So that's the question, right? Are these guys wanting to be coached, or they just want they got their money, they don't want to be bothered? So is this a bunch of men playing football, or boys with big checks? Not to say that they're little kids, but their maturity and understanding is not to where they want to win championships, right? And that's what, when I look at AJ Brown, I think that way because he want to be the man. The man is not going. The man is not going to make you a champion because the truth be told, when you was the man, you was losing all the time. You was on the damn Titans. You wasn't winning nothing. They got you over here. You won a Super Bowl, and you wasn't that guy. You was the guy that made some big plays, but the guy that was running the show was 26. Right? So that's what I'm saying. And now he talking about, well, I don't feel comfortable because I want to be the guy on the team and this, then the third. Okay, you want to be the guy. So that means you don't want to win. And this is where you say, okay, if the main goal is to win the Super Bowl, that's one thing, right? You should want to be taught, learn, learn certain things, learn everything, this, that, and the third. But if you just want your stats and your money, that's not, it may sound crazy that I'm saying that, if these guys are not grown men, I'm just saying they kind of selfish. If the goal is to win a championship, it shouldn't be me, me, me. It should be we. And until they start talking we, this is why the Patriots are looking good because they're saying we, right? That's why the Broncos look good because those guys are brought in. Uh, the Jaguars brought in. You know what I mean? These guys are buying in. Uh, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens going forward. But some of these guys, they have to understand, man. If you're trying to win, man, you have to put that selfish thing aside and get with the team concept. It's very hard to be an individual and win a Super Bowl in the NFL. They say Tom Brady was successful because he brought into what Belichick was selling. And we know what that result was, 6 Super Bowls. And then he took it to Tampa and won a Super Bowl, right? So when you have that selfless desire, you want to make people better and so on and so forth, and you help people become better, that's a championship team. You can't really win. You can't this is not like the NBA where Jordan can score 40 and everybody else can score 15 and win a championship. Those days is over. Right? This is the NFL. Everybody got to play their spot. The lineman got to keep the blocks on the run and the pass. The quarterback got to read the pick up the blitz before he snaps the ball. He got to get rid of the ball. He got to see the open receiver before the blitz get to him. It's a whole bunch of different things going on, right? And that takes maturity. That takes elevation of the mind. That takes elevation of the individual to become a team player. It's easy to go for yourself, but that's not a winning recipe in no sport, in life either. It's not a winning recipe, right? You can learn yourself and then put people around you that's going to help you win, right? That's you can be selfish in that manner, but you have to be selfless in order to win or get to your spot. You're going to need somebody to get you to that defensive turnover. You're going to need somebody to get you the ball back. You're going to need that field goal kicker to if you can't score that touchdown, right? It's you can't do everything, but you have to trust that that person is going to be there with you, and the more trust you got in them, the more that they perform, you get the best results possible. So and that's like I said, that's any sport. Even as I'm watching this basketball game right now, it's all sports is like that. I'm watching these guys make extra passes. Hey, you shoot it, you shoot it. They're not saying that they're scared to shoot the ball. They're saying that, hey, you're more open than I am. Shoot the ball. You might be the better shooter, so I don't need to take the shot. You the better shooter. Shoot it. Right? That means you got trust in that player. You got all of that on display. So you want them to score. You want them. Listen, your 2 points could get us a win. Oh, and one. Oh, he fell on his groin. LeBron is hurt. Giannis landed on LeBron. Let's see if this is a real injury or not. But yeah, you just gotta like understand what the criteria is for winning a championship. You got to know your position. You got to know your place. I get that. That's not a selfish act. That's just you getting to understand your role. You learning that. That's for you. That makes your teammates not have to worry about you. You are responsible for your role. and you'll be accountable if you mess up. That damn, you didn't get off that block well enough. You didn't run that route quick enough. You know what I mean? Like those are the type of accountability, responsibility you get in the sport of football. And like I said, when you do the things that you need to do, you're gonna see the. I promise you, you see the best team for that day win the football game. It may not be the best team overall, but the best team that performs this weekend, they will win the game. Unless some fluke happens. Oh, we fell apart. But that's not the best team performing. Best team performing is they doing everything that they need to do. Right? If your offense is clicking, that means their defense ain't working. If your defense is clicking, their offense ain't working. I wouldn't be surprised if we see all field goals in like the Bear game, the Bears and Packers. It wouldn't surprise me because sometimes that's how the NFL goes, especially in those northern games, like the Chicago game, maybe in New England. I don't know what the weather is in New England. It might be cold but one of those days is gonna get cold and start snowing and stuff like that. And you got two games in the East as far as New England and Central with the Bears. So in Seattle it rains a lot, so we might get some rainy days in Seattle. We don't know. But if you know your position, if you know your parts, if follow the game plan, stick to your role in the game plan. If you do your best, you will win the game, and then have fun with it. If you have fun with it, I guarantee you would. The team with the most fun is going to win. They understand this is fun and it's business, but they having fun doing their business. So that's just something to look at going into this weekend. Um, you know, and then like I said, we'll be back. We'll be back Sunday night to get those 5 games done, and then Monday night we'll have that conversation about the Texans versus the Steelers. Will Aaron Rodgers hold up? I don't know. Can the defense get to Aaron Rodgers? We will see. Can C.J. Stroud do something with that offense against the Steelers? We will see. That's why the NFL is any given Sunday. Well, any given day, any given game. But now they got Saturday and Sunday now, and then we'll go from there as far as the playoffs. Interesting playoffs we're going to see. Uh, NBA season's kicking off. Oh, by the way, the WNBA. Oh, not the WNBA. The women's 3-on-3 second season Unrivaled has started. Pretty good games. Some notable, some of the notable names are not there. Caitlin Clark, but you still got Nafisa Collier is injured, and she's one of the co-founders of the league. You got Brianna Stewart, you got Aaliyah Boston, you got some notable players there, some winning players there. You got Chelsea Gray there, Chelsea Plum, all of these other young ladies that's playing. It just started this past Monday. So the WNBA they looking like they're gonna head for a strike, but you still got Unrivaled for the ladies. So yeah, so it's just it's sports all around us, and then before you know it, they'll be talking about spring training. Spring training is 5 weeks away, y'all. Baseball's on its way back. Y'all know when baseball is on its way back, the NBA is on its way to the playoffs. So, but we're gonna talk about all the sports. Oh, next Monday is gonna be the Hoosiers versus the Miami Hurricane. I don't know who's gonna win that. We'll talk about that down the road. Uh, I saw the kid Trinidad Chambliss. I think he played a good game. His name may ring a few bells going into the draft. So don't be shocked if that's what happens. Um, yeah, it's just like I said, there's a lot going on. So you just got to be ready for it. But in the meantime, in between time, all the scores from NBA and things like that. You going with Miami? I like Miami too. I, I'm gonna go with Commander. Commander been right lately. She told me don't pick the Raiders. I picked the Raiders and the Giants kicked their ass. So I'm going with Commander. That's my nine. I'm going with Commander. Commander be on the low, know what she talking about. So I'm gonna go with the Hurricane. I'm gonna go with the U. They're gonna bring it back, and you're gonna see every old Miami University player playing. I mean, playing. You're gonna see them all there. Ed Reed. I saw Jimmy Johnson down there. I saw Jimmy Johnson down there. Michael Irvin. Ray Lewis. Uh, Warren Sapp down. I seen all of old dudes down there. So the U is representing hard, and they playing in Miami too. They're gonna look like the Patriots. Um, so this is this is going to be a unique thing for them, but we'll talk about that next week. That's next Monday. This Monday is going to be about the Steelers and the Texans. So y'all get ready. As I get ready to sign off, y'all get ready to check on my 33 brother. He get ready to start in a few minutes. Um, like I said, the scores and stats in the brackets were brought to you by the 9%. Where better you is a better us. And I will be back on Sunday night to talk about those 5 games and plus some of the basketball games. So with that being said, shout out to everybody that came through. Commander, Realist, Word, Atmosphere. I forgot the other people that was up top. And the special guest people. Zeno, Try Me. Appreciate all you guys coming through. So from the Channel 9 studio, this is Mr. 33 signing off. Check out the Word, y'all. He's coming up next in about 5 minutes. Check him out. See y'all Sunday.